When you think of Australia, you think of sand, surf, of fine foods and great locations, and also our sporting achievements. We're very good at that. But you would be very surprised to find out that Australians love arts and culture, and we are world class at it. Hi, I am Jay Laga'aia, and today I am chatting with Dr. Wendy Were. She is the Executive Director for Advocacy and Development at the Australia Council for the Arts. And we're asking the question, why Aussies love the arts? And we'll get the elephant out of the room right now. Can you tell me, what is the Australia Council for the Arts and what does it do?
So, Joe, the Australia Council is the government's arts funding and advisory body. And put really simply, we fund great art and we fund that art to reach audiences.
People are watching this right now going, when you talk about arts, are you just talking about highbrow theatre and opera? What exactly does that funding cover?
It covers the whole lot. So a lot of people, when we think about arts, we tend to go to what you just said with the high art. So opera, ballet, orchestras, and so on. But art is something that all of us are experiencing every day.
They're talking about this, this blanket. We turn around every day and we are confronted with the arts, whether it be, in libraries or people busking on the street, whether it be people drawing or these creative Zoom classes as such. I mean, what does the research come back and tell us about how Australians embrace the arts and culture in general?
Well, we've been tracking that for about just over 10 years, and every 3 years or so we go in and test the temperature, if you like, of how Australians are participating in the arts. And what's clear is that we all do it. 98% of us are participating in the arts.
Okay, look, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here because you're saying 98% of we have a population of like 25 million. So 98%, I mean, the question has to be asked, what are the other 2% doing? Maybe holding the door back. But the other thing is that why is it so hard to get the idea across that the arts is an integral part of the foundation on which we build our society on?
I think part of it is because, to draw on that thing I said earlier, we're soaking it. Often we don't realise how much the arts are contributing to our lives. So the arts are kind of this hidden force behind everything that we do, which makes our individual lives better on the daily. They make our community lives better. They make our national life better. And I think because they're just so omnipresent, people sometimes forget that they're there.
I've worked for 16 years. I worked for 16 years on Play School. I had a young man approach me. He looked about 22 and he said, "You taught me how to read." And I just went, I have a large family, but I didn't see you at the end of the table. But he said, we came to this country from Indonesia and we didn't speak a word of English, but we watched Play School, and learning to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star enabled us to learn phonetically how to speak English, and in doing so, learning how to read. But the great thing about that is that it also taught my parents, because they had to sing as well. So the ongoing effect of the arts, that's also an argument why the arts are so important.